Thero Saranai, Avasarai Swamin Wahansa. Thank you for your patience. Sorry, we are a little bit late today. So today we are having the third Dhamma session of the Mindfulness series. Due to the overwhelming responses we had for past two sessions, a committee of Visakhians of New South Wales decided to have a third session as well. So today's Dhamma session is conducted by Venerable Kalubowila Amathagaveshi Thero. Please note that this session is being recorded and the recording will be published in our YouTube channel. Last two sessions of the Mindfulness series are already available in our channel. Please ask your questions in the chat box and Thero will answer those at the end of the session. Now I invite Sujotha, the President of Visakhians of New South Wales, to welcome you all and to start the session. Over to you, Saju.
Thank you, Asani. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Garuthara, Kalubowila, Amathagaveshi, Swamin Wahanse Athalu, Mahasangharat Ben Avasarai, Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Swamin Wahanse, it is my privilege to welcome you again on behalf of the Visakhians of New South Wales. We are thankful indeed to you, Swamin Wahanse, for accepting our invitation to deliver the third part of the Dhamma sermon on mindfulness, meditation as a tool to lead a successful life. I, on behalf of Visakhians of New South Wales, welcome everyone who has joined us today. I'm looking forward to today's Dhamma sermon very much because it will address some practical aspects of especially Anapanasati Bhavana and Vipassana Bhavana. I'm sure it will help you all very much in your meditation practices. As many of you would know, Swamin Wahanse was born in Sri Lanka. Swamin Wahanse renunciated the lay life after retirement from a successful career. After his ordination, Swamin Wahanse studied Dhamma Vinaya, Samatha Bhavana or tranquil meditation, and Vipassana Bhavana or insight meditation under the guidance of the most venerable Na Uyani Arya Dhamma Thero and Walane Amathagaveshi Nayaka Thero. Swamin Wahanse, I invite you to deliver the third part of your Dhamma Deshana on mindfulness, meditation as a tool to lead a successful life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Guna ratana nidhanam asama samalokanatang paramaruchira kayam sabbhalokuttamam tam amata siridadantang sabbhaloke padipam sugata mahamudaram Buddharajam namami. Aham Buddha Parayano, Dhamma Parayano, Sangha Parayano, Viharami. Buddha Ratanam, Dhamma Ratanam, Sangha Ratanam, tinnang ratananam anubhavena sabbantarayo vinassantu sabbe mara palayantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening to your devotees in the group of Visakhians of New South Wales and whoever affiliated to this discussion today. The subject of the discussion, which was mindfulness and meditation as a tool to make your life successful. This is the third session on that. Initial session, we tried to understand what consciousness is, what subconscious is, and then what mindfulness is, and also what is meditation. Since Dhamma is available on electronic media more than 2 decades back, most of the participants are aware of Dhamma. But practicing, there are difficulties that you face because you need guidance in meditation when it comes to real meditation. We discuss meditation is training of the mind through concentration, and with that we came to the juncture where we identified very clearly, as Buddha did, tranquil meditation, samatha bhavana, where you develop your mindfulness to lead to concentration, and at the end of such, it's graded to dhyana or absorptions. Of course, previous day, with the little time available, we of course practice the commencement in a typical Buddhist way, but participants who are non-Buddhist do not have to stick to that. What you need is try to relax your body, like what we did last time. Let go of the past. You know how to do that. It's just not letting go. Past are mind and matter, arised and passed away. Therefore, I can't get hold of it like that. You let go of the past. Future is something would arise due to cause and effect, and that also you can't grab. In that sequence, you get to this moment, and you focus on the body. We practiced how to trace your head, mindful mind up to from the head, top of the head to the toe, and focus on the body and relax the body. Moment the body relaxed, mind which is associated with it to start commencing to relax. And in order to promote that, we thereafter went into Buddha Anusati, reflection on the Buddha, and we went into metta, the loving kindness, which is no link to any religious faith. It's merely cultivating loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, and equanimity, which is sort of where the concentration would finally lead you to. Against all entire universe, taking two as the meditative subject, focusing on it and concentrating on all beings, and you sustain that thought, and such you develop the tranquility through metta. Of course, we didn't have time to proceed with others. I have mentioned this before. If we go into details, we need some more, we have to go into some more sessions continuously so that participants could do their homework whenever you are free to get into practical meditation. Otherwise, these sessions will be typical Dhamma Deshana, like what you and I have been listening to our whole life. But whether we have achieved any success into liberation is in question. So therefore, let us try to discuss more practical aspects during this. For that, Sajota has sent me some questions. I will deal with the questions at the end because most of the questions will be answered through this Vipassana session today. So, linked to last time, we stopped at metta, but remember, you need to focus on your body. And Pali, you call it Kaya Gata Sati. That means you contemplate on the impurities of the body. There are 32 parts mentioned in the Buddhist canon. So like hair on the body, nails, teeth, the skin, the flesh, the sinews, the bones, like that it goes on to 32 aspects, and you contemplate the impurity, pilikulai, dugandai, asarai, the impurity and the whole awful situation of that material form. That's part of tranquil meditation, because you need that. You need to know that when it comes to vidarshana. To get to A level, you need to go through O level. So like that what we missed last time is under tranquility subject is Kayagata Sati, or meditating on the impurities of the body. And the next thing is, what we missed is Marananusati, reflecting on the death. Now, that's taught a school that that's very negative approach. Why should we think of death? But at the same time, latest scientists in many quarters have proved that meditating or reflecting on death improves your skills a lot. So therefore, we didn't do that. That is nothing but reflecting on death is to energize yourself from, otherwise we keep delaying meditating. Everybody is busy today, and therefore you keep neglecting meditation, or you not give preference. Of course, in the present scenario, millions are dying in the world. In Sri Lanka, most of our known ones are dead. Even this morning, one of my relatives passed away due to COVID. So like that, people are passing away. So not that, but you have to sit somewhere, calm yourself and think that I'm also subject to death. If we have time, we get time in the future. If we go to some disciplined meditation practice, we need to do that. Or if you're organizing any meditation sessions over there with some priest, he would take you into these steps. Once a person achieves some considerable state of concentration, then only one has to get to Vipassana. There are very rare cases where some devotees directly get to Vipassana. That's one of the questions raised here, which we discussed last time. I don't want to spend time discussing it. We said, yes, people who have gained this skill in the previous births. Now, only Buddhists believe that there have been a past birth. Others don't believe. But you need past experience, which links through, we spoke of subconscious bhavanga chitta, which arise at end of every mind process, or at end of every cognitive series, and which stays throughout. And if that flavor has the skill that you have meditated in the past years, then such people listening to Dhamma alone, please remember that. I'm not claiming that you don't have, there are taught us various schools now with people getting educated, various books being written, Dhamma available on Google and all that. There are so many masters give Dhamma Anusasana, saying, some say no need of tranquil meditation. But I would not claim that, because the path is Sila, Samadhi, Prajna, the virtues, concentration and insight. Always remember Buddha lived 2,500 years ago, and the old canon is the original script that got revised so many times over Sanghayanas and many people writing on it. So one needs to be very, very careful at this point. If you get to practice, you must get at the correct path. Otherwise, it's like taking a serpent from the wrong end. If you take the serpent in the wrong end, he keeps attacking from you all sides. So like that, my advice is be very careful. Let it be whoever it is, the instructor, that his theory should be based on the old canon, not his own discovery due to his intellectual capacity. So with that clarification, today, remember, one has to build a considerable, so our recommendation is not that absorptions are essential to get to Vidarshana, especially taking the current living conditions and how busy the lifestyles are. People have hardly any time to sit for hours and meditate unless you go to a retreat. That also you keep looking at your cell phones, messages and all. Very rarely one get disciplined to do very effective meditation in quality time. So provided you do that, when you are doing it, remember it has Buddhanusati. There are 40 meditative subjects on tranquility, but we do recommend Buddhanusati, reflect on Buddha, develop the 4 Brahma Viharas, loving kindness, compassion, so like what we did last time, and then contemplate on the body, nature of the body, then reflect on the death. With that 4, it brings you some standards in your mind to be calm and cool, or some can lead to meditation. And of course, Anapanasati is the thing in that category. To lead to tranquil meditation, one has to do Anapanasati, breathing in and out. So today we will spend some time going into that, because again, Anapanasati, Mahayana sector does it in a different way. Theravada sector also, there are various standards. Main differentiation is, according to all canon, you concentration on breathing in and out, what you felt, what you feel at the end of your nose, tip of the nose, or in the center of the nose, or you don't go beyond the faculty of the nose. But in Theravada sector, especially arising from Burma and all that, there started actually about 6-7 decades back, Himbima Hakilima, that is expanding and contracting of the stomach. With breathing, your diaphragm goes up and down, so your stomach expands and it comes down. So some goes up to that. But if you take the original words of the Buddha, that's not recommended. So therefore, in this session, Anapanasati, when we discuss, we would only discuss the old canon, what Buddha said. There are 16 steps in doing so. We will go into that. If you are not taking notes, best thing is to close your eyes and listen to what is said and don't follow the steps, keep the steps in mind. But last time in tranquility, we discussed any tranquility in mind has to achieve by 4 steps. We call it taking the meditative thought, sustaining the thought. You need to remember that. Sustaining, taking the meditative thought, sustaining the thought, and once your mind has sustained on that thought, piti sukha, joy and rapture takes place. Although you say joy, don't try to search for the joy that your English term gives. It is a very special quality of the state of the mind when it has stopped running. That's a sort of a very inspiring sort of a feeling you get within yourself. It's not joy and joy that you find in English term at a party or something like that. It is the inner settling down and you feel you're so calm. It's a mentally felt character. So don't compare theory into it. Try to experience that, piti sukha. Then with that state, what happened? Once you reach that stage, we discussed last time, that opens you up to concentration. Thereafter, your mind stay with that thought, and what happens there is you will clearly perceive that entire outside sensuous world, you are out from it. That's the benchmark. That's a benchmark. It's not any light or anything coming in. Of course, you will see light when your mind is, we spoke about it first day also. There are 3 stages where you see a bright light can appear you, but don't get excited, don't follow the light. But still you may see light, you may see clear some feeling, you feel like your breathing is gone because it calmed down so much. Then don't try to search for your breath, and don't be excited on the lights you see or the very clear bright star-like thing. But these are all nimittas. Those are all indicators saying that you're progressing correctly towards concentration. Even at the end, once mind concentrated, you feel internally very correctly that your mind is out of the sensuous world. What is sensuous world? Is the world we eat and drink and marry outside. All how our mind running and grabbing things from the morning till in the night we go to bed. You know, it's one after night. We spoke about a monkey jumping. That has stopped. That has stopped. That's the signal that you are in total concentration of first dhyana. So based on those 4 steps, these 16 steps are divided into 4 sections. Don't try to do your arithmetic. Don't try to remember this is first section, but you will come to it once you practice it. Otherwise, you will be just counting only. Then the next stage is final stage. 3 out of that 4 sections, 12, 16 divided by 4, you get 4 sort of descriptions in one group. 3 of such is totally tranquility. As we spoke, anapanasati is nothing but a tranquil meditation. It's the best meditation recommended in Buddhist scriptures to gain concentration. But the issue is the current life people spend with so much of your mind is occupied and scattered. It's very, very rare you get a person who develop on anapanasati. But with that statement, don't get discouraged, but keep on doing it. Then the final section is vidarshana. We will touch it today too, because our subject is vidarshana. Later, we will come how to practice that detail in vipassana. So let's start anapanasati. I will take you to the 16 steps. These are all theory, but your mind needs to catch that theory and practice so that don't think, now I'm in the 3rd step, now I'm in the 4th step. Don't go to do that. Just follow, but basically What you should have the skill to do is take the thought, sustain the thought, the joy and sort of tranquility, and then the concentration. That's it. All the other things, what we talk of these 16 steps are minor details, how your body, mind would adjust, how your mind would adjust. Mind will do that for you. No need to cram and push it towards that. It will do it. Mind itself will follow one to the other. You don't have to force it through theory. So let's start. For Anapanasati, most important is to keep your body straight, keep your head straight, sit steady. That posture is very important. Don't crunch down from your stomach or from your spine. Keep the head straight. And now you are ready to establish mindfulness. Now you are trying to establish your mindfulness, sati, into breathing. Now, breathing is the normal, natural thing happening until the time of death. So no need to bribe anybody to get that going. It's happening there. So now be mindful on the breathing and breathing out. In that, first step is, as we discussed earlier, you bring your mind to the tip of the nose. I showed you on camera that day, above the upper lip, and where the nose is attached to the body, we call it the tip of the nose, and place your mind there. Pali, we call it parimukam sating upattapetva. Place your mind, or in other words, be mindful on the tip of the nose. There you feel a column of air which is breathing in normal terms is happening. Air is going in. We call it breathing in. And it goes out, breathing out. Okay. Now the first step is you take the meditative thought. You keep concentrating or be mindful at that point how breathing in and breathing out takes place. With such observation, try to establish at the point where that breathing in and out touches your nose. Depending on the formation of the nose, biologically, for some, it touches at the end of the nose. For some, if your nostrils are large, then it touches in the center. Otherwise, it touches towards the end of the nose, in the end of the nose, inner end of the nose. Try to gain that. If you can't on first day, later when you are slowly trying it, try to first taking the meditative thought while being on the thought. Now that's very important. Be while being on the thought. Now number one is you are taking the thought. So don't let it go. But slowly establish where that thought, which is, when I say thought, it is breathing in and out, where it touches the nose. Slowly establish your mind at that point. It could be at tip of the nose, center of the nose, or wherever is it, slowly establish. Still, that is part of taking the meditative thought. Then, the next part of taking the meditative thought is while you are observing mindful on the breathing in and out, there could be long breaths. and there could be short breath. Keep observing that also. Don't force it. Don't force it. Sometimes when you are sad or worried, people take deep breaths, or you're excited, that means your body is taking more oxygen in. Even relaxation, it happens. Without your knowledge, your body is relaxing now. Therefore, lungs will demand for more oxygen, and suddenly you feel you are breathing long. Let it be. Let that biological process take place, but know that it's long breath. Be mindful that it's long breath. Be mindful it is short breath. With such observation, you take the meditative thought well. That's the first step. If anyone, any devotee who can't get to that point where your mind keeps running, there's a small learner exercise, but this is not applicable for everyone, but we need to mention at this point because we have not meditated with the team out there. If your mind is still running, that you can't take the thought, there's an exercise given, that is, you start counting the breath. This is given to novices, the beginners. When you are starting, breathing in, count as 1. Same breathing out, count as 1. So it's 1, 1. Then second one, 2, 2. Then 3, 3. 4, 4. 5, 5. 6, 6. 7, 7. 8, 8. 9, 9. 10, 10. 10 breaths. Through counting, try to get to that taking the thought. That is only a novice's recommendation. If you need it, when you are doing your homework, practice that. That means first thing is you have to establish the taking the thought. Otherwise, you can't progress with the meditation. In order to do that, if the mind is not allowing it to do that for various reasons, get to this counting exercise, breathing 1 breath as 1, same breath out as 1, up to 10. Don't go beyond 10 because thereafter you have taken the thought of counting. That's the trick. You have taken the thought of counting. So don't let your mindfulness get to counting. That's what is only recommended for novices. For educated people like you, who have seen world experience, who are in mid-age, should follow the normal way, which we explained a few minutes before. In order to do that, long and short breath will do the help to you. Okay, that's the first and second step, which is undertaking the meditative thought. So when you're doing by yourself later, first get to that step. Breathing in, breathing out, while slowly establishing the point where it touches the nose. Then keep watching the breath. When it's long, biologically, you may sometimes get forced to take a brief breath and see whether you are catching it. Don't do that. Let the natural process, don't force anything into the process. Just relax and keep watching. Then you feel very well that you have taken the meditative thought. The best physical way to feel that if you don't feel drowsy, if you're not feeling drowsy, you are on the subject, on the ball. That means you have achieved that vitakka, taking the meditative thought. With that, slowly move to the second step. He trained thus, clearly perceiving the entire breath body. What does it mean? Now you have been watching. Since it's theoretical explanation, I may go fast, but you are doing it, don't rush, go slow, and then to establish that taking the thought, having watched the taking the point where it touches and seeing breathing in, out, and long breaths, you have taken the thought. Now you are coming to sustaining the thought. In that process, number one is clearly perceiving the entire breath body. When you say breath body, it's not the body which is on the seat now. It is the breath body, means the process of breathing. You are watching inhaling and exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Now, since you have taken the thought, when you are sustaining it, take that both as one. Breathing in, breathing out is one process. It's obvious. Being educated, you know. It's the same one process. It goes up, goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. Okay, now like that, you sustain your thought as the entire breath body. Not at the beginning, it was breathing in separately, breathing out. Now both together, try to establish at one process. Be mindful on that. Now slowly you are sustaining the thought. Your mind is not running. You are sustaining the thought because it's one process of entire breathing process. Your mind is on that. It's a very important point. This is the point where your mind is scattered. It goes gallivanting to other thoughts. Past, future, that, this. Can I catch it? What the priest says is correct. That priest said this priest is selling this, that book said this book. This is the point. The evil force will take you out, or your sansaric habits will come in. So be very smart on this point. Have a lot of Dutch courage to sustain. Don't force it too much. Don't tax your body. Don't tax your mind. That's bad. Without that, next step is that kind of sustaining the entire breath body. You calming the body function, you breathe in and out, or tranquilizing the body formations, you breathe in and out. What is tranquilizing the body formation is, at the beginning, you had to be extra vigilant in tracking your breathing. At this stage, you are not putting that kind of weight on the breathing because you have established your mind on that. So suddenly you will feel it's coming subtle and subtle. That is an indication of tranquilizing. You are getting to tranquility. That is called tranquilizing the body. You breathe them in and out because you are trying to sustain the thought. Get it very clear? Now you are on the entire breath body. Your mind is not running anywhere. As an advice there, if your mind runs away, be aware that it runs away. That is the catch here. Don't regret, because if you start regretting, meditation doesn't progress. That's called Visakhians. It will disturb you. You put to restlessness. Let it go. If it's running into some activity, let it go, but be aware of the fact that that is the important thing in tranquil mind. Be aware. That means you're mindful. You're mindful that your mind is running out. See, catch that beauty there. Be aware that you don't try to fool yourself saying, no, it didn't run. I will control it next time. No such events. If it runs, let it go, but be mindful to bring the fellow back to the point. Take the thought back again. Go through that back again and breathing in and out. Get the point where it touches. Maintain that long breath, long. If you don't feel long, short breaths, don't harp on that, but proceed, keep proceeding. Then you come to sustaining the thought again. Again, you see the entire breath body, and you having subject your establishment onto sustaining, then yourself feel you're tranquilizing your body formation in the sense that breath had a certain physical, some kind of nature, physical nature, sort of not a heavy, the heavy word is not correct, it was gross. Now it's subtle. That's a difference. Earlier, at the beginning, it was gross. Now it's subtle. Sometimes you will feel that you don't take that effort to breathe in and out. It's slowly calming down. That's called tranquilizing the bodily formation. In breath, there's a bodily formation. That is the column of air. That's the bodily formation in the breath. Now that is tranquilizing, that is calming down. With that situation, you have sustained your mind. If it runs away 100 times, don't give up. Don't give up, bring it back 100 times. For that day, that's enough. Discontinue the meditation and go for another day. But that's only for people with scattered brain where it keeps running. Because you are being able to sustain something which is running faster than the light. Onto one-pointedness. You're coming to that, you are nearing that. Then the third step is feeling the rapture. You breathe in and out, feeling the rapture. What is this rapture? You have properly arrived at that. You feel there's a lot of internal bliss arising because your mind is calm. You have sustained the thought in one point. Therefore, something which is designed to run faster than the light has stopped. You're stopping. You are in the process of stopping. Therefore, you feel there's so much of rapture. English word for rapture is happiness. Again, it's not the happiness in the sensual world. It is the inner bliss you feel in the mind as happiness. While feel, now don't stop and focus on that rapture. You get excited on the rapture, again your meditation falls out. Let it be. Having the rapture, you sustain the thought. That's the kind of mastery. You're feeling the rapture within yourself, but continue on the breathing concentration. You have sustained the thought, keep sustaining, maintain your mind on that point, but the rapture is there. We indicate the rapture, you to know that you're progressing. Then the next step in that is feeling the bliss or joy you keep breathing in and out. Rapture leads to the bliss. Sukha pati samvedi, Pali term. You have to feel inside whatever the book says, whatever the meditation instruction you hear through this session, not that. This is what you are experiencing now in that meditation process. Please do that. Since you have sustained, you feel the rapture or that happiness, then still you are concentrating on the breath. You didn't stop and watch that rapture or said, hooray, I have achieved it. You are still proceeding, calming down. You are still sustaining the thought. Then this bliss comes. Still you don't get excited on the bliss. Keep sustaining the thought. Keep sustaining the thought. Then it comes to now your mind has to get to one-pointedness. You feeling the mental formations. I will feel, breathe in and out. What is this mental formation spoke in the written language? That is that one-pointedness. That's a condition of the mental state. Mental formation. What is the mental formation? Now your mind is not running anymore. It's on to that subject you have sustained, and it's not running onto any other thought. It's at the point where your concentration has established. There was joy, there was rapture, there was joy. It didn't disturb you. Only thing, those are passing indicators. Then now the position you are in is the concentration. That is the seventh step in the meditation process. Don't count the steps. Keep proceeding. Now what you need to do is your mind is now well established on the meditation subject. You call it, you have reached one-pointedness. Since today's session is more theory-based for you to, as a guideline to practice, this is the point where the book says, Vitakka vichara piti sukha ekaggata sahita pratamadhyana. In English, it is the first absorption which arises due to taking the subject, sustaining the subject, feeling the bliss and rapture and one-pointedness. All that put together is concentration, first absorption. Now, stay in that for some time. Stay on that one-pointedness. You are entering to first dhyana, or the first stage of absorption, or you have achieved concentration. You have trained your mind to be in one point. That is the result which Buddha advised you to develop in tranquil meditation. Now, although that has arisen, calming, tranquilizing mental formations. Further you calm yourself. You are on one pointness. You calm yourself. In Sinhala, you take a adhisthana. May I enter the first absorption. Now, adhisthana means you take a mental resolution. There, now may I enter the first absorption. In English, you call it calming, tranquilizing the mental formation. I breathe in and out. Although these stages are passing, remember your thought has to be on breathing in and out. Nothing else, nothing else. But now that breathing has calmed down so much, at this point, you may not even feel the breath. It must be calming down. For some, you can't feel the breath, but still your mind is onto that one-pointedness, although physically your breathing has almost gone away. This is the total relaxation of the mind. The total relaxation of your body, your heart functions as it is designed stage. All your faculties have calmed down. Although I give this comment, your mind may run into your heart, but in your practical session, don't do that. Since I'm guiding you theoretically, I keep explaining like this. And this is a point, the most important point in tranquil meditation. Having sustained the thought, having benchmarked your rapture and joy, you have come to that one-pointedness which was led by taking the thought, sustaining the thought, rapture and joy, and one-pointedness. In your daily meditation, try to get to this point. Now you come to the other point, the third section. Now you are almost into your final stage of your tranquility, clearly perceiving the mind, experiencing the consciousness. What is the consciousness at this point? The concentrated mind is the consciousness. Clearly perceiving. Now you clearly perceive that your mind has got to one-pointness, and that you clearly perceive that. That's again like joy and tranquility. More than theory, you yourself feel that experiencing the consciousness. What is this consciousness here? One-pointedness. The fact that your mind has come to one point, has to come to concentration. Keep feeling that. In Pali, it's called Chitta Patisangvedi. In another term, now slowly check, taking the thought, sustaining the thought, it has slowly dropped out because your mind is now through that rapture and joy into concentration. Master on that. Master on that. You have practiced properly after so many sessions. You will feel that no more energy is required to taking the thought. No more energy is required to sustain the thought. It is nothing but rapture and joy have led you to concentration. That's the second absorption. You are in the second absorption. You are in the second absorption if you have properly done it. Continue whatever absorption, you are not taking your thought out of that one-pointedness. How it was created? Through breathing. Still the meditative subject is breathing in and out. Not the lights, not that and this. Still it's on breath. But physical breath is almost slowly diminishing. More awareness is on that concentrated mind situation where we call it breath consciousness. Breathe in and out, conscious. Breathing in, experiencing the consciousness. You are experiencing that one pointness. That is the second. You are at the second absorption. There you again take a resolution. May I enter into the second absorption? Again, a mental resolution. May I enter to the second absorption? If you have, of course, these stages take few. You need to practice more than 15 minutes or so in one point, but since it's theory, I'm going on. Then you go to the next stage, your consciousness, experience the consciousness. Now you're gladdening the consciousness. What do you mean by gladdening the consciousness? That means even your rapture is out, is nothing but that fine joy, that mental joy you have. Your mind is there at concentration. No need to struggle anymore. Still, your concentration is getting sharper and sharper. That is almost the third absorption. At that point, it is nothing but there's so much of gladdening in the consciousness. But still, mind is at one point. There, with again the resolution, may I enter the third dhyana? Having entered, you stay there for some time, and then that promotes you. No need to force it and say, here I'm going from this to that. Your entire consciousness calming down will slowly take you to that. No need to put physical effort. You get to concentrating the consciousness back again. You breathe in and out. At that point, devotees, that joy is also no more there. Only one-pointedness. It's like upekha, satiparisuddhing. There's so much of equanimity, and your mind is in that absorption, which is the fourth dhyana, the ultimate that a person could lead in absorptions. With that kind of mental development, concentration, you will 100% feel that your mind is no more linked to the mundane world outside. You have to experience, however the book says, this you have to experience by yourself, whether in Australia, Sri Lanka, or anywhere on this planet or in the divine world. This is the fourth absorption, where you are completely, your mind is running haywire, looking into sensual attachment. It is just in one-pointedness. And you have tranquil your mind to the extent that it is out from the sensual world. It's a meditative experience. Don't find answers in the book. You can't copy it from somebody. It is this inner bliss which is there. And your body and mind is that designer stage. All your pressure, circulation of blood, all such things have calmed down because your body and mind is in total tranquility. That 12 steps complete the tranquil side of it. Now, what you need to do is you are proceeding towards vipassana. Everybody asking what is vipassana, how to do it. Now, this is the moment. Now, tranquility state of mind. If you practice this continuously in your life, at the time of death, however much things you have around, your mind will automatically, at the time of passing away, it's nothing but it gets to the absorption. This is a proven thing. Therefore, you don't take any other unwholesome situation into your mind. We spoke of karma, gati, nimiti, and all these things last time. Your Chutisita is nothing but one of the 4 absorptions you have developed. Accordingly, such beings are born in the divine world or in the Brahma world, where the bhava continues. After that, you have to come back again to this mess. Therefore, up to this point, the day of the Buddha, theory was available in India. Today is also available. Most of the meditation centers get you to spend weeks and weeks to get to this point. Don't condemn them, but you have to realize time is fast running out fast. Your body is decaying every day. Dhamma is available. Let's achieve Nibbana in this life itself. This is the point of demarcation. You are getting to Vidarshana, insight meditation. Now, from this point, don't try to concentrate on the thought. All that is over. Now you have to take a resolution. May I come out from this absorption? May I come out from the absorption? There, once you come out, your mind is not again running into all corners. Still, your mind should be on breathing, but with that breathing thought in mind, one moves to Vidarshana. There, the first step is reflecting on impermanence. Aniccanupassi, assasissamiti sikkati. Aniccanupassi, passasissamiti sikkati. Now, reflecting the impermanence, you breathe in and out. From this point, we moved into Vidarsana subject. What is reflecting the impermanence is the basic impermanence you feel now is what is the breath which is going in. Being an educated person, watch very carefully. Can you sustain it? No, it comes out. The breathing arises, it falls apart and becomes breathing out. What happens breathing out? It falls apart and becomes breathing in. Is it the same breath that goes in, coming out? No, its structure has changed. Your oxygen rate or whatever, that inner structure of the breathing has changed. Science has proved it. Buddha said the same thing. This is practicing to start the first stepping stone into impermanence. You watch the physical arising and passing away. physical arising, breath arises, it passes away to breathing out. Breathing out passes away and breathing in occurs. Is it the same breath which goes out that comes in? No. From the universe, from the environment, another column of air is coming in. What came in has gone. Focus on that very physical arising and passing away of breath and understand that means breath is impermanent. It's not permanent. From the time it goes in, breath is impermanent. It breaks down to breathing out, and breathing out breaks down to breathing in. It is not the same internal structure which remains. It's a rising and passing away. Try to having now you're mindful, earlier you're mindful of the breath. Now you're mindful about the insight analysis. What? Breathing in takes place, it breaks down, then arising of breath out. Watch the arising and passing away of physical breath. This is only a very, very minor vidarshana state, because the master stage is after that. But first master this sequence. What is going in is not what is coming out. It arises. Try to practice arising and passing away, which is a key understanding in insight meditation vidarshana. Otherwise, everything in the world you watch, you feel that it's there. But get to this arising and passing away, but watching the breath, physically arising and physically passing away. Now, that's the practical way of reflecting impermanence. Now, thereafter, what we are going to explain is nothing but the whole gamut of Buddha Dhamma. No other religion explains this. You need to master on mind and matter. You have to, before getting to this point, you have to read about it. You have to listen to Dhamma about it. You have to remember the Dhamma you have listened it. And you have to, whatever book you have read, you have to follow that process very carefully. It's nothing but your intelligence. Jnanam udapati. Clearly see how fine is Chakkum udapati. Your vision is very fine now. But now get to Jnanam udapati. Now the knowledge comes. What is the knowledge? Now follow this point. Here onwards. What is now we are getting to Vidar, we are still on the first Vidarshana stage, realizing the impermanence of breath in and breath out. We spoke of the kindergarten of that, how to physically observe the arising and passing away and get to the nursery stage of impermanence. Any child, that's how this 7-year-old children attain the Arahattu. So for you all, it's just nursery of that. Now we are getting to graduation. Now realize, now contemplate. Now there's no mind concentration. Now the concentrated mind, that skill that built you, still your mind is running, not running anywhere, still on the breath. Now develop your insights like this. What is this thing coming in? What is this air passage coming in? And what is this air passage going out? What is coming in? What is going out? Now the real Vidarshana graduation takes place, passing the nursery stage. What comes in is nothing but the material form, arise due to law of the nature. There Hetupala, cause and effect comes. How did this air arises? It is due to the law of the nature. What are the law of the nature? Law of the seasons, law of the genes, laws of karma, and it goes on. But here, law of the nature, the seasons. A liquid gets evaporated, it becomes sort of air. Air gets cold, then it becomes liquid again, like that. The heat is there, it keeps changing, decaying. Now, all such phenomena, contemplate, develop your insight. This breathing in and out is nothing but material form arise due to law of the nature. With that kind of insight understanding, you slowly touch cause and effect, hetu pratyaya. Me husmaralla athivune kohamada. Was it given by the God? Sorry, this word. Is it created by some one creator who created this breath, or is it the nature of the law? Now see, you are cracking the ignorance also at the same time. It is the law of the nature gave this breath. Now you go into some more. Now you are like a scientist in a lab. You go into and find out what is this air created by the law of the nature. Then you have to perceive that there is more prominent is air element, vayo dhatu, vayo dhatu. There is air element in it. The condition and conditionality, hetu pratyaya, there are two words called anya manya sahajata. When one element arises, other three elements, eko kando tinnannam kandhanam, with one element coming in, the other three, what are the other three? Hard element, liquid element, temperature element. Slowly analyze yourself the breath. Air element is more prominent. That is, breathing in is a column of air. But in other than meditation, if you hold a glass in front under your nose, there's vapor takes place there. Sometimes on your spectacles you feel that. There's air. You wear the mask and then breathe in, breathe out. Your spectacles get that dew-like thing forming. What is that? That means there is liquid element. There is liquid element. You can't see. There's liquid element there. And there's hard element. That's why you feel the fellow is touching on your nose. If it's air only, you will never feel that touch. You feel the touch of going in and out, which you took as the meditative subject to concentrate, is nothing but because of the hard element. Then obviously you know that breathing in and out has a temperature. When you are dead, they say temperature is no more in this body. Next day, when you breathe out, slowly hold your hand and see you feel there's temperature, there's energy there. So therefore, the devotee who is into insight meditation realizes or arrive at the jnana. What is this jnana? Nama rupa, mind, material form. He is clearly separating the material form of the breathing in and out. Okay, if you are practicing, go back this, you are still on breathing after your concentration, you have come out from absorption. If you have gone to, otherwise with your basic concentration. You can, no need to go to all 4 dhyanas. With a reasonable concentration, you can switch on to vidarshana. What is the first step? What was I concentrating all this time? What gave me this absorption? What are the cause which took me to mental concentration, where I felt how I took the subject, how I sustained, how the gladdening and joy and all that mental sequence and that concentration, what was the origin of that? There you find out, that's breathing. That's called vidarshana. You're analyzing now. No more one-pointers, but that mental strength or the mental ability created by that one-pointer is breaking through. It's like I spoke to you last time, a sharp knife. You are dissecting something no human being will do in my life. That means breathing in and out is arise due to nature of the law, Hetupala, and it is nothing but the 4 basic elements in the universe. In Pali, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. In Sinhala, in English, hard element, liquid element, temperature element, or energy element, or you call it calorific element in some statements. You, whatever easy to focus, you focus their energy element or temperature element or calorific element, and then their element. In this particular vidarshana you are doing with breath, air element is more. Perceive that also. Now that's the first step in vidarshana with breathing in and out. You perceive that the subject which helped you to reach concentration is nothing but which is in the universe, arise due to cause and effect, the law of the nature. In other words, it's nothing but 4 basic elements of the universe. With that, what happens? Earlier, your breathing is mind. Your breath is me mage husmarala. It's my breath going in, my breath going out. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Now, what is going in, coming out? It's the 4 basic elements in the universe going in and out. There's no ownership. Now, with that, you slowly perceive these 4 elements at the time of breathing in, that nature structure is different when it's coming down, breathing out. Elements do change at per seconds. You know it very well. In latest theory, Anu, it's the molecules, atoms, protons, neutrons, plus and minus energy. What are you doing? You're further, if you want, you can further analyze this material form. You can further analyze the material form. What's happening is arising and passing away of a material form law of the nature has created. That's the first step in breathing in and out with darshana, where you felt the impermanence of that physical property which created breathing. Now there's another physical element which helped you to sustain the thought. What is that? What is that? It touches the nose. Where did it touch? It touched the nose. Now contemplate with vidarshana, what is this nose? What is this nose swallowing about? My nose. Where is it on? It's on this fathom-long body. What is this fathom-long body? This fathom-long body is nothing but That's what I said. Kayagata sati is very important. Having done your tranquil meditation on the body parts is important here, otherwise you can't proceed. There you feel this body on the seat, where the nose, where the breath is touched, is nothing but hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, then flesh, bones, bone marrow, and you go on like that. You go on like that. The kidneys, the kidneys, the heart, the liver, the pancreas, the bile duct, then the spleen, then the lungs, then the small intestines, then the large intestines, then the brain, what is in the stomach, undigested particles of food, and then fecal matter, then the brain. There are 20 such impurities in this body. What is seated there is nothing but start contemplating. Actually, you have to develop that through your tranquility, the body parts. Dissect your body, which is on the seat, to hair, body hair, nails, teeth. There is again the kindergarten theory. You mentally, you keep that out from the body. You throw that around you. Go into skin, go into bones, go into skeletons, go into bones, go to the heart, go to the liver, go to the kidneys, go to pancreas, liver, bile duct, all that, go to large intestine. Just see what a load of rubbish around. What a load of impurity around. It's infested with 90 kinds of worms and parasites. And it's smelling for so many feet it's smelling. Like that, keep contemplating where this 4 basics element arise due to nature, the law, touched another body element, which is full of filth or full of impurities. Now contemplate on the impurities. If you take basic 1 strand of hair, today, if you analyze under lab electronic microscope, what do you get there? Nothing but 4 elements: hard element, liquid element, temperature element, and air element. Like that, it's a long process. I can't complete with this. Just for you to practice, I'm giving this. You have to contemplate on all 32 plus. You have to do that exercise before and be aware of that. Otherwise, you can't just get to Vidarshana on the body. And those 32 or whatever it is, now scientists have divided into more than 40 items. Let it be 32, 10 now. At least take care if you can't take anything. Take your teeth, take your heart, or at least take 1 subject and master on that. That this body element is nothing but hard element, liquid element, calorific element or energy element, and air element. Now breath has more air element. If you take the bones, what has more gravity there? Hard element is more on. If you take your liver, that's neither hard or soft. It's sort of soft. Take your lungs. It's not hard, it's soft. There is something called soft also, Lahu Patavi, Pali. It's not the gross, there's a subtle hardness in that. Take your nail, it's more hard form in that, no air form. Like that, that's an exercise you have to keep doing in this Vidarshana, which was the subject of breathing in and out. Now, still your subject should be breathe, although you are running into the body parts, still your basic subject is breathing in and out, because you move to the body, having done your insights at the point where it touches, what is that point? Now, with that kind of material segregation, that this body is also nothing but 4 basic elements. Now, the breathing in, out, also 4 basic elements, but it was created to the law of the nature. Then you contemplate, do vidarshana, analytically analyze who created this dirty set. Now you understand it's like a filthy, dirty impurities right round. No visitor will come, not your own child. Your husband, wife will come and grab you. Everybody runs away because it's such a filthy stuff around. It's covered by the skin. Now go into it. We found out it's 4 basic elements. Now you move to cause and effect. How did this body arise? I spoke to you in this first section, how an egg forms in the mother's womb, how the consciousness from the previous birth, it's a flux of the universe, how he acts on that. I spoke about the microwave. Like that, it acts, and there are material form according to kamma, kammaja rupa, then Chittada according to consciousness, then Irtuja according to the energy or temperature, and finally the nutrient element. With that, in the womb, mind and matter forms. In other words, what created that? Irtuniyama, there were seasons from the mother's biological cycle itself and the father's biological cycle. There have been a cycle of nature, seasonal changes. And there was also Bija Niyama, the ovum and sperm all have genes there. That's what came together and gave this gene structure, Bijani. Then there was Kamma acting on it. We spoke of the flavor which comes from, can you remember, we spoke of Bhavanga, the flavor that came in. Chitta, there's the mind started, but since in the womb, it goes to Bhavanga state, it goes to resting, because it's so dark there, the tiny creature can't take any senses. With nutriment, it grows and grows and grows. Once it grows, what happens? Then there are faculties. You see, you hear things, you listen to things, you touch, smell, do all that. Like us, with the 6th sense doors start working, what happens? There is touch. Moment there is touch, there is feeling. That's all mental process. When there's feeling, then comes craving. When there's craving, we cling. Then this whole process of becoming, we call it bhava. Not only this life, it keeps on rolling. Now one has to slowly contemplate that. What is the law of the nature which created the body? In a nutshell, due to avidya, due to ignorance of the fact that like you are doing now, we never sat in the samsara and analyzed this. Therefore, I'm coming on and on. I was not able to sit and take time to analyze this. Therefore, I'm keep on coming and going back. Therefore, this whole body is arise due to avidya, due to ignorance, not the fact that you have not studied, not that ignorance, your ignorance of the universal truth. That have led you to sankhara, mental formation. I told you at the time of passing away, birth, and even single moment in life, there's so much of mental formation. That's a flux, and that leads you to consciousness. There's mind taking place, which is another flux in the universe. And that flux, what happened is, that is garnished by the kamma and fed by the nutrients. There came you. There came this body. There came this body. Sorry, this is a point that the devotee goes away from the creation story. Sorry, I'm not insulting any religion. There's no creator who did it. It's in nothing but the process of the nature, cause and effect. very important in insight meditation. No other philosophy in the universe other than Lord Buddha who touched this point and he break through the ice. Cause and effect. Ignorance created consciousness, garnished by karma, fed by the nutrients. This whole body, let it be here to all this rubbish came in, and on that only this breath is touching. Therefore, when you breathe in all this time, you felt breathing is mine because breathing is you. Now analyze, is breathing is you or this material form? There's a material form there. Now slowly move into 3 stages of vidarsana, segregate mind, matter, go into cause and effect, and watch arising and passing away. In breath, you watch physical arising and passing away. Now you go to very microscopic, very analytical analysis of the breathing and where it touches the body. Therefore, although this breath keeps touching the body, slowly do the vidarsana. When you will take a breath, there is touch the body. It goes down. Second time it touches, it is touching the same point. Physically, you feel same point, but has that point changed? Yes, that point has changed. There you are. You are getting to liberation. You are getting to liberation. You are cracking the ice. Therefore, devotees, vidarsana, breathing in and out through the concentration, still your subject is on breathing. You are analyzing this breathing. That's why you went into the outside elements caused by the nature. You are you focused on the body. Now, devotees, you have clearly differentiated among the material form of the subject of the meditation. There's no material form to analyze. That is called Rupa Kalapa Venkara Ganime Vidarsana. Your skill of differentiating the material form, that it's the nature of the law of the nature. What is there? The 4 basic elements. Let it be the body, let it be the breathing. Finally, you dissect these 4 elements. What is the nature? Is it permanent? No, it's a rising and passing away. Get to that now. That's the breakthrough in Vipassana. 3 points, as I told you, on your marks. Segregate the material form. Get ready. Look at understand the cause and effect. Go. That's arising and passing away. Arising. If anything in the universe which arising, passing away, it's impermanent, anitya. This is the anitya you saw at the funeral houses with banners and everything. This is the anitya. We talk, something goes wrong at home, something breaks, we say, anitya. If a flower is in your garden, nicely blossom, next day it's withered away, you said, anitya. That's not the anitya. That's the anitya that everybody knows. Now this is analytical meditation, vidarsana, you call it knowledge, vidarsana, jnana. Now where are you on the middle path? Virtues completed, concentration completed. Where are you? You are on vidarsana. Are you wearing robes? Are you in a temple? Are you in Himalayas? Are you in Buddha Gaya? Are you in front of Ruanvelisai? No, you are at home. You are with your basic clothes. Now, see, now all this hocus pocus comes with the meditation. You have to wear white, you have to sit on the ground, you have to hear. No more. Because you are into insight. You are like a scientist in a lab. You have perceived 100% through and through by taking breathing in and out as a subject, having a concentrated, sharpen the mind, you start analyzing breathing and the body it is functioning, and you have discovered that has been created through the law of the nature is nothing but the four basic elements arising and passing away. So the body which sat on that seat, when you get up now, is it the same? No, it has changed million times. It's faster than the light. Therefore, Rupa Kalapa Anityai, material form. Let it be you, let it be your child, let it be your husband, wife, the best friend, the ones you love so much, or ones you hate anybody. Now search for anybody to hate. Search anybody to love. Search anybody to grab as mine. All material form living is, let it be an animal or anything. Let it be a pet dog or cat, all is material form. Now you slowly move to outside material form. I'm getting into more insights because it's a more Dhamma sermon. But in a true insight meditation, I would not take this outside non-living material. Ajivi in Pali. We took biological stuff. In real insights, you have to go and see the physical non-living things. What are they? First start with the chair you are seated. What is that? That's also made out of something out of nature through a creation of the thought in the mind. Your chair or whatever it is, although we call it a chair, rexine or whatever cloth, it's four basic elements. Are there the first day it's made? No, it's arising and passing, but the process is slower. That's what you have to color wash your walls once in a way. That's why you have to replace the furniture once in a way, it decays. That's why you have to change the car, because there's wear and tear. Please understand the wear and tear of the physical stuff you are holding other than the living material form. Also at this point as a gesture to commence. Otherwise, it's not listed under Anapanasati Vidarshana. I deviated because today, the first day session of the Vidarshana. Now, that completes the insight Vidarshana on breathing, which the devotee fully perceives material form as nature of, law of the nature, four basic elements, arising, passing away, and that's impermanent. If anything impermanent, is it suffering or it is something enjoyable? It is something suffering because unsatisfactory in condition. You can't keep up to your youth anymore. You can't keep up to your age anymore. You can't stop decaying. You can't stop whatever vitamins and whatever good food take may not keep you going on and on. See, COVID has come. The fellow can destroy you in minutes. That means any material form impermanent on this planet, on the universe, is subject to unsatisfactory in condition. Dukkha in Pali. Natuva me hitata danena dukkha. Not that the sad feeling you are getting to the mind. Don't mix that up. Don't mix that up. Not that sadness. It is the unsatisfactoriness that you can't hold on forever and ever. It keeps changing. Now the second question. If material form is impermanent and it causes unsatisfactory condition, is it there's something to take as me, I am, or myself? Is there anything that you can take as me, I am, and myself? No, because every point is a rising and passing away. There have been a physical body which has been named by due to the legislation of the country or what on the decent society, and you call it, it's me, my bag, my chair, my car, my house, my children. That's okay, that's fine, that's how you live. But now you are like a scientist who have gone into, you are under the microscope. There is material form arising, passing away, caused due to nature, therefore impermanent, unsatisfactory in condition. Final point is, therefore material form has no self. What is that? Where are you ending? You are cracking the Sakkaya on material. What is Sakkaya Ditti? At so on stage, that's what a person achieves. You crack the dilemma that there is self in the material form. Keep practicing this vidarshana. I'm sure one day at your meditation seat, or while going to office, or while walking, I will tell you later, walking meditation and all, you will catch it. Therefore, time is running out. It's almost 4:30, 4:16. We started at 2:30, 2:45, 3:45, for another half an hour to go. Now, you are very clear the steps of vidarshana. Once you achieve concentration through breathing in and out, anapanasati, we were at the first stage, reflecting on impermanence. Still we are at that first stage. That's what I told Sajotha, this cannot be done in one day. 3 hours you can't shove it in. Therefore, you watched only one side of breathing. You watched the material side of it. There was a mental side of it. What was the mental side? What was the mental side? Now you slowly go back to what gave you concentration, breathing in and out. Now, through that, we realize that it touches the body. Therefore, we have perceived properly the material form of that exercise. And we thus realized it's something caused by nature, arising and passing away, therefore impermanent, unsatisfactory in condition, and no self. Now you have to slowly qualify yourself to mental formations. What are the mental formations of this breathing? What did you do? You have to track back. You sat and you started by breathing in and out, long breath, short breath, and you took the meditative subject. What did you do? You took the meditative subject. Was it the body which took that or the mind? It is the mind who did that. Taking that subject was nothing but a mind factor. Now we are doing vidarshana on nama, where most of the devotees mix up and they can't understand, because material you can see, breathing you felt, but this is the rascal who kept the, of course, helped you to go forward, reaching the concentration. What was that? Taking the meditative, there was a mental state you created by taking the meditative thought. That was nothing but a mind factor. What did that lead to? It sustained the meditation thought. Am I correct? It sustained it. What was sustaining? That was a mind factor. That gave rise to, it gave rise to rapture and joy. The two, that's why I kept telling, don't try to watch that as a body thing. Watch that as a mind formation. That rapture and joy was a condition of the mind, not the body. not the body. Then what was the fourth state? Finally, you went into concentration, one-pointedness. You came out from the sensuous world. Who created that? Your mind created that. So therefore, one-pointedness, your dhyana, which we clamor over to establish, is nothing but a mind factor, a creation of the mind, or in Pali, nama dharma. Now you have clearly segregated the mental formations in the meditation you followed, breathing in and out. Now, go to the cause and effect of the mind. Go to the cause and effect of the sight. Now, moment the breathing touches the nose, what happens? Feeling arises. Feeling arises. Feeling gives rise to what? Feeling gives rise to perception. Here it's breathing in. This is breathing out. Perception gave rise to a mental formation. Ah, I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. What is consciousness did? Having tracked breathing out, it took you to one-pointedness. So what was this one-pointedness? Nothing but the consciousness. Therefore, the devotee, again calming down, watching the breathing, having segregated the material, he starts segregated the mental formations on that process. Those are taking the meditative subject is a mental formation, sustaining is a mental formation. The joy and gladness is a mental factor. Even the dhyana, even the concern, now we all clamor, oh, I want to get into dhyana, I want to get into this final stage of it. Now what was that? That was a mental thing. Now, having watched the breathing still, do insights on that mental core conditions. Is it there now? Is it there now? It's taking the subject is there now? No. You're watching the mind now in another aspect. Moment, watch it, do vidarshana very carefully here, because as I told you, it's not like material form. It's a very fine thing running faster than the light you are tracking. Here, taking the meditative thought is a mental form. A mental form doesn't exist 1 second. It arises and passes away faster than the light. We spoke of this. It's faster than the material form it's arising. So although we keep establishing, taking the thought, what's happening? There's mind formation arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Then what happened? There's a point we move, taking the meditative thought to sustaining the thought. What happens once you arrive at sustaining thought? Where is the taking the thought? That mental form has gone, arisen and passed away. Then after contemplating, sustaining the thought, you got to joy. You got to joy and rapture. So where is the sustainment of thought? It's gone now. Get to concentration. Where is rapture and joy? It's gone. So each of these mental formation arises and passes away, arises and passes away during your having achieved concentration. Although it's concentration or absorption, it's nothing but mental formations arising and passing away, arising. Please read about cognitive series and understand it's nothing but a chain of series of cognitive series arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Therefore, mental factors are anitya. Anitya. How did it arise? What the cause there? Cause was the physical. This is the link between nama rupa. the physical breath and the body gave the base you to start the mental. That's how you took the thought, the consciousness. You took the thought. And that thereafter, the mental process kept going. So mental process, what you have analyzed now through these steps in meditation is nothing but mental form arise due to the law of the nature, arising and passing away. Therefore, all phenomena related to mental form is impermanent, anitya. And continuously arising and passing away is unsatisfactory in condition, or dukkha, there's nothing to hold there. If something is arising and passing away, impermanent, unsatisfactory, you can't get hold of it. What is the final result? Anattato, there's no self. With that, devotees, you complete the mind and matter segregation level in Vidarshana, which is called reflecting impermanence. I breathe and breathe out. You are still breathing and breathe out, but there's nothing to hold as me, I am, or self. What has happened? You have cracked the Sakkaya Ditthi. If you have really done it, you have cracked the self. You have cracked the ego, but you need to continue for some time and establish it very well. I can't explain all that. Time almost running out. Time is almost running out. So another 2 steps, viraghanupassi, that means contemplating fading away of mind and matter. Next stage is contemplating cessation. What is cessation? Nirodhanu, that there's no self at all. There is nothing but, there's no sattva pudgala, nothing. The whole exercise is mind and matter due to cause and effect, arising, passing away. There's no self. Reflecting on abandonment, contemplating relinquishment. What is relinquishment? Relinquish, can you relinquish self? That's it. You relinquish self. So this is the path which is explained in Buddhism. No other theory in the world. That leads you to cessation of self, which is the cracking of Sakkaya Ditthi, self, because now for you, of course, there are ways of contemplating. Having realized this, you come out from breathing and you keep thinking of the outside elements. Let it be your favorite person you like, or whatever your mind is attached to, and contemplate. You will realize that you can't get attached to that. But you can do your duties, make their life happy, but you are not holding them physically as mine. What happens? You are a devotee who has achieved Sovan state, which is the state where your Sakkaya Ditthi, taking mind and matter as self, is gone forever. Therefore, doubt goes away forever, and you will never follow any other praying or any rigmarole to seek liberation in this true world. So that's exactly what insight meditation, vidarshana, leading from the tranquility. So subject today was anapanasati and leading to vidarshana. For me, session has not ended because you need to understand mind and matter on theory very well. And you come to arising and passing away. Sajota has asked a question on Bhanga Jnana. Also, there's a question of could you achieve nirvana through anapanasati only? No, there are so many ways. It's like a pool. You can get in from the deep end, you can get from the shallow end, you can jump from that, this thing. That's not one gateway. There are so many. So answer for that, the first one is Anapanasati is not the thing, but Anapanasati is well-designed thing, a person to achieve tranquility and to get to Vipassana and to get to liberation and wisdom. Then the next thing is, she has asked, what are various stages of Vipassana, which I think today I explained, but some more details to be explained. How does one knows that they are making progress through Vipassana? Only answer is turn your senses towards yourself and see. There's no book answer for that. Turn your senses inside you and see what happened at the end of the meditation. That's the result, progress that you get. And could you achieve Nibbana only through Vipassana? Yes. One has to, this is where the Dhamma sermons and all this knowledge transcends to wisdom. There's so much of Deshana, there's so much of programs, so much of theory, so much of argument, so much of debate, but leave all that, get to simple this exercise, then that means Nibbana has to be achieved through Vipassana. This is the debate. Some says no, but Vipassana is the thing. Insight is called wisdom, and the middle path is nothing but Sila, Samadhi, Prajna. This wisdom leads you to liberation of self. What is Bhanga Jnana? I need one session because there are 7 steps of purification. Bhanga is one jnana which really show you the Bhanga Jnana. Really, it's on the 6th stage of purification, knowledge and vision. The same exercise we did, we can segregate that to 7 steps of developing wisdom. In that, the Bhanga is nothing but the 2nd step, knowledge of dissolution. Knowledge 1, we discussed rise and fall. It gives rise to knowledge of dissolution. Dissolution means destruction, falling and breaking up. So like that, that's another whole day session for explain for Bhanga Jnana. You have to get to 7 steps of purification for that. Then next thing is connection between Lobha, Dvesha, Moha in achieving Nibbana. That's the whole process of Vidarshana. Lobha, Dvesha, Moha gives through clinging Upadana. Upadana is arise due to Tanha. So this way, if you keep contemplating, developing your insight, there's a day that you realize 100% there's no personality, self here. Tell me where Lobha, Dvesha, Moha is going to act. That's the end of the thing. Again, that's another session. Then Nibbana is complete eradication of Lobha, Dvesha, Moha. Yes, because those are Lobha, Dvesha, Moha, Kivata devotees, that all is mental formations. All those are chaitasikas, mental formations. Then finally, the role in meditation, how to do it, I think I spent 2 hours explaining, 3 sessions explaining. Please do your homework. Questions you can ask, but what you need is practice, 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 commitment to practice. Do it now when you are healthy, when you are living some comforts, try to do it. When the world is very bad, if there's war, famine, and sickness of this nature, people can't sit and meditate. So that's my advice. We conclude this session today, since the time is almost 4:33. Now, over so many sessions, Visakhians of New South Wales are giving this world which is burning of disasters, and people who are in stress because there are needs, unending wants. People are on roads protesting, people are in parliaments arguing, people are in houses arguing, fighting, stress, desires are bottled up. desires are expressed without limit, the whole world is crashing down. In that situation, Visakhians of New South Wales, rather than organizing an annual ball, I'm sorry to say that you have organized the best ball in the world for your participants, giving this message which cannot be bought from any supermarket or where Queen goes, and I don't know where she shops now. Earlier she used to shop at Harrods in UK. Even Harrods you can't get it. So that's the gift that generated so much of merit. May all the divine, may all the devas be conveyed of this merit, and they may protect you, although you are far away in Australia. May devas protect you, your family, and whatever your means of income and living with all these pandemic disasters and disasters in the world. May devas protect you, and especially in guidance of vipassana and meditation, that you could liberate. So let us convey merit to devas. Akasattha cha bummattha deva naga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu tvam sadha. Danang dadantu saddhaya silang rakkantu sabbada bhavana virata huntu gaccantu devata gata. Danang dadantu saddhaya, that's the gift of Dhamma you all gave over these sessions. Then the virtues you kept intact during this session. You didn't do any evil thing during these sessions. Your virtues were intact. And finally, the meditation. All that merit, may devas accumulate, and may devas attain Nibbana. Now let us convey this merit, your loved ones who have departed. If your parents are departed, please remember them in your heart for all what they sacrificed to bring you up. Today, they are no more. Think of them. Think of brothers and sisters or whoever looked after you during your childhood, and whoever helped you to be in this present status of life in this planet Earth. Think of them. Think of the founder of Visakhians, the Honorable Mrs. Jeremias Dias, and also think of the teachers who enlighten your mind with theory from the kindergarten up to A-level or university, and all the past pupils who studied and educated in Visakhians who have passed away. And finally, the Wilson uncle. I also remember him. He is known as Senarat Dasanaik. He had passed away a few weeks back. Let us, this is the height of gratitude. You remember the gatekeeper or the one who took care of your premises in the school premises. This is greatest reward that human being could do. I trust the world would copy this. So let Wilson uncle convey this merit, and may he also attain Nibbana. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātuyo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātuyo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātuyo. Now, let me bless you. Of course, to cover Vipassana, you need some more sessions, but left to you to organize. I don't hop behind them. If you invite, I come, because I prefer to be detached. Anyway, depend on you, what you need to do. But whatever the link you did, giving this message of Dhamma, may you be blessed. Sabbhitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvancharayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhāve sabba dhammanubhāvena sabba sanghanubhāvena sada suddhi bhavantu te. As per the unique truth of the Buddha Dhamma and the Sangha, and the protection from the divine, and the developed mind we developed over these sessions, may the Bojjhanga factors which brought you close to liberation, and may the May all good deeds you and I have done during our life protect you, you and your family and the country you live. And may you be all be happy, safe, and may you prosper in your profession, studies of your children or grandchildren, and may you be protected from all disaster, especially the current day pandemic and all the nature disasters like bush flowers, floods, or whatever it is, tsunamis. May you be protected day and night through these disasters. May you develop your meditation, may you develop your insight, and finally achieve Sovan, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat in this life itself. May you be blessed. Stay happy, take care of yourself. Abhivadana Silissa Nichang Vaddha Pachaino Chattaru Dhamma Vaddantu Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samityatu. May you all be safe and happy. Goodbye from Sri Lanka.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Swamin Wahansa, we appreciate you sharing your knowledge of the Dhamma with us again today. I'm certain that everyone who joined us benefited immensely from your advice and guidance. We especially appreciate your thoughts on the practical aspects of meditation and how we may incorporate that into our lives to progress in our paths to achieve our spiritual goals. Swamin Wahansa, with much gratitude, we wish you continued good health and many more opportunities to share your knowledge of the Dhamma with others. Sat, sat, sat. In relation to today's event, I thank Mr. Premalal Gunatilaka, who helped us to advertise this event. And we sincerely thank Mr. Charita Rajakaruna, who helped us with the virtual connection with Sri Lanka. And on behalf of the Visakhians of New South Wales, I thank everyone, including our friends and families who helped us to advertise this event. I thank all of you who joined us today to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity to listen to Dhamma. I wish you all the best in your chosen spiritual paths. Thank you.